Okay, it looks like the computer is recording. I will never remember to remove this part in post-processing, so hello guys, it's Grandalot here. In this video I will share the builds for most of my characters, although those with an Emblem of Severed Fate set, we will talk about them more in detail later. There have been quite a few updates compared to the same video that I uploaded a couple of months ago, more or less, so let's get things rolling because it may take a while. Raiden, she's by far my most heavily invested character, not just in terms of artifact, but also in terms of prime gems spent on her. On her run I want to get her Constellation 6, so hopefully I will have enough time for saving. Double Crown, especially when I do solo Abyss, duo Abyss stuff with good old Bennett. I use her normal attacks a lot, so we'll end up bringing this to 9, and she will be 9, 10, 13, eventually 9, 13, 13. Constellation will really be through that. Artifacts. Emblem of Severed Fate, of course, and she has the best artifact that I got from that domain. And her recent update is this one, with this absolutely blessed attack damage goblet, with an amount of critical damage that I don't even dare to pronounce. Funny thing, what I was using previously is this. Basically no crit damage, but an absurd amount of attack percentage and a lot of energy recharge. In terms of raw damage output, between this and this, the damage is extremely similar. We are talking about a rotation in which Kazuha swirls Electro, Bennett uses his burst, Sara uses her burst, and then Raiden uses her burst. The overall difference is 18,000 out of 600,000. That's how much difference there is between this and this. This one also has the minor bonus of adding some extra crit rate, as long as the fact that I can give this one to other Electro users, but she's using this one most of the time. Kazuha, triple elemental mastery, with the flower and plume with the most elemental mastery that I could gather. No Constellation 1, I would like to get this Constellation 2, we will see. Talent 688, I'm thinking about doing 9 and 9, but it does not impact his Swirl a lot, so he may stay like this, and he has his signature weapon, and these are his stats. Oh, I forgot to show the stats for Raiden, because you're wondering. There she is. A lot of energy charge, very, very good looking crit rate, crit damage ratio. I like her so much. Mona. Now, to talk about Mona, we need to talk about two things. The first one is the weapon. In theory, her best in slot is the Skyward Atlas, and I also got it at Refinement 2 because I get it every time I lose a 50-50, but I prefer this one for the speed movement increase, but I very, very often play her with Prototype Ember in teams that don't have a healer, just to have a bit of hit points sustain. And this brings some impact on the artifacts that I give her. Because if I want to focus on damage, she will have 4 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate with mostly crit and damage stuff. But if I'm using her with Prototype Ember, I will probably focus more on energy recharge. And the reason why Emblem of Severed Fate for me requires a bit of talk is that I have a lot of artifacts from this set. Like flowers, I have 6... flower I have 6 level to 20. I will just show them to you very quickly now. Feathers, again, 6, all a level to 20. Sands, all these are at 20. This one is at 16. Reason being that it will only be good if at 20 it rolls into something very useful, and I have no need for this one right now. And crit heads. Plus hit points. This is usually on Toma. And there you go. So basically, my characters that use Emblem of Severed Fate, Mona, Beidou, Xingqiu, Xianglin, Rosaria. Well, Toma usually always have the same stuff, so I can just give it to him. There you go, Toma. I basically switch the artifacts around for them depending on what the character wants to accomplish. If I need more energy recharge, I will give him the set with more energy recharge. If it's a DPS dealer, I will give him the artifacts that deal more damage, and so on and so forth. Sayu, similar issue, in the sense that I would really like to play her with full elemental mastery. Oh, I forgot, Mona, Constellation 3, talents 669. Probably like to level up her normal attacks a bit, because she often needs to normal attack, but we shall see. Sayu, talents 788, Constellation 4. Once she makes it to Constellation 6, who knows how long it will take, I would like to run her full elemental mastery. For the time being, I try to just give her whatever Viridescent Venerer set pieces I have. Usually attack, and I don't have an attack hat, so she gets crit rate with some attack and energy recharge. She has a few energy recharge issues, so more often than not I let her use Skyward Pride. If I had to switch weapon, I will either give her a Sacrificial Greatsword or the craftable one from Inazuma that I have not crafted yet. We shall see in the future. Hello, Sayu. Albedo, well, Albedo is very easy. These are his stats. Did I show stats for these two? Probably not. Yeah. See, not great stats, but Mona is usually there for support. Sayu, a lot of YAR, the rest, whatever. Albedo, as we were saying, 50, 132, a bit of energy recharge. Weapon, of course, the Cinnamon Sword. Artifacts, I have 4 pieces husk, of course. I got this goblet, which has no crit stats, but a lot of defense percentage. And the only decent hat that I got is this one with crit damage and a little bit of crit rate. So after running a few tests here and there, it turned out that for me, oh, this is nice, the best combination is to use him with this goblet that has no crit stats and this plume that has a mountain of crit stats, including crit rate especially, because in my build he really needs crit rate. Pretty solid, deals a lot of damage, like him quite a bit, no constellations, 699. Hu Tao, Triple Crown, she's my only Triple Crown character. She has a pretty good build. This one I can change it a little bit, like it can go higher in crit rate, a little bit lower in crit damage, increase elemental mastery, lower elemental mastery, but the differences between a build and the other are extremely small and not really worth wasting too much time on. Staff of Oma. Artifact, I usually run her with this set, even when I'm not using reaction, just because it's more convenient. And I'm using a Pyro on-set goblet that is not particularly good, but it fits the build, because it allows me to use an offset critical damage head. Usually, in theory, the crit damage head that I would like to play on her is this one, which has elemental mastery and some extra crit rate compared to this one, but it's the best one for Noelle. So if I'm not using Noelle at all, this hat will be on Hu Tao, but if I'm playing both, this is what Hu Tao is using. Constellation 2, Triple Crown. Let's go to Noelle. These are her stats. Her build I never change. She always has Refinement 5 Serpent Spine. For Gladiator, I am not touching the Husk domain ever again, because in order to get stuff that is better than this for Noelle, it could take me months of farming, and I think it's not worth it all. not worth at all. She deals a ton of damage. Like, her normal attacks with the regular synergies hit for 25-30,000 damage after her burst, of course. The last attack of the chain hits like a truck. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. Constellation 6 and 10-9-10. Well, 10-9-13. I don't plan to crown breastplate. It's an okay skill, but it's not that important for her kit. Bennett. Bennett, the main thing we need to talk about is the weapon. Sometimes it's Aquila Favonia, sometimes it's Skyward Pride. It depends on the team. If I'm playing him in a team that already has great energy regeneration, usually with Raiden, then Aquila Favonia provides more attack. But if I'm playing him in one of those teams with, I don't know, Xianglin or stuff like that, I will give him Skyward Blade. He loses a little bit of extra attack, but it fixes energy recharge issues during any rotation. Artifacts for Noblesse. The Noblesse piece is a bit like the emblem of Sara the Fate. I often swap them around a bit, but more often than not, this is what Bennett is using. Energy recharge, pyro damage, hit points. This is a hit point hat with an insane amount of energy recharge. It's really, really good on him. He loses a bit of damage, of course, compared to a crit damage hat or whatever, but he's not there for the damage. So that's how I usually play him. Constellation 6, I activated this Constellation 6 because it helps basically all of my teams. The only team in which this is actually bad is with Eula. But if I'm running Hu Tao, Xiao, Raiden, any other team that does not have Eula, Constellation 6 is great. Great or neutral. It makes no difference or it's great. So I really don't understand why people are scared about activating Constellation 6. I really don't understand it. It's 15% extra damage for most characters. The only one who doesn't like it is... okay, 15 extra damage for most pyro characters. The only one who doesn't like it at all is Hu Tao. And in other teams it can still be useful, because having characters with an infusion can actually allow for more elemental reaction, generate energy in certain instances, so it's just great. So unless you only play Bennett in Eula's team, this is good. Just don't fall for the meme of, oh no, I did not activate it, I will have the exclamation mark here forever. Just turn it on, turn it on. Oh, talents. 5, 6, 10. A skill that is definitely worth crowning. I would probably like to level up this one a little bit. Attack doesn't really need it. But this one a little bit, just because he uses it so often that a bit of extra damage will definitely be helpful in some rotation. Geodaddy, these are my stats on Geodaddy. He's there mostly for the shield, mostly. Weapon is a bit random. More often than not, I will give him Favonius Lance. If someone else is using Favonius Lance, I will give him a Skyward Spine. If I want him to deal more damage, depending on the team, I can give him Lithic Spear or Deathmatch. But usually, it's either Favonius Lance or Skyward Spine. Artifact for Milalit. I got a decent goblet, a Geodamage goblet from the Milalit set, so I'm using an offset piece. This is the hat, fairly reasonable for Zhongli. Hit point sands with a lot of flat hit points, so again, fairly reasonable for him. Offset plume with a ton of hit points and some crit stats. And this is the flower. No constellation, don't even plan on ever pulling for Zhongli's constellations. Talents 497. Eventually I will probably bring the planet thing to 9. I may consider crowning this, but we shall see. Ganyu, I very rarely play her on stream. You may actually be surprised about seeing Ganyu. You may have never seen me play Ganyu. I've played almost exclusively Ganyu as my main carry for 4 months, more or less, sometimes together with Hu Tao. So I wouldn't say that I'm a bit bored of Hu Tao, of Ganyu, but I prefer to play other team compositions that require a bit more effort rather than just long pressing left click, releasing it and one-shotting the universe. Stats of my Ganyu are terrible because I have never dropped a crit damage hit from the Blizzard Strayer domain, even though I farmed it for thousands and thousands of resin. Ideally, I would like crit damage to be above 200 and crit rate to be 30-35, but it does not depend on me. Weapon, either Prototype Crescent or Blackleaf Warbow. I have them both at Refinement 5. Depending on the situation, one or the other can be better. I would say Blackleaf Warbow, I slightly prefer it. Because it's easier to use and I don't need to worry about having to do this thing every 10 seconds, and sometimes you fight targets that have no weak point and it's awful. A bit difficult to choose between the two. The damage difference between a Blackleaf Warbow at full stacks and a Prototype Crescent with the passive active, it's basically nothing. A few hundred or maybe just a few thousand points of difference depending on your target, so not really worth losing your sleep over that kind of issue. Artifacts, again, pretty bad. Pretty bad. This is not a bad artifact in general, but I wish it was like 60 crit damage here, well, 62.2, and 10 crit rate here. Then it would be perfect, like my Ganyu would be great. But as it is now, she's not very great. This one is a little bit questionable. I thought I had a better one. We're about there. This one, meh. This one, very meh. Constellation 2. And these are the talents. I should bring the shower to 9, potentially crowning the normal attack, but again, I'm not using her very often. She was my first 5-star character. I had no idea about the banners and all the sort of stuff, so I just kept pulling until I had the wishes, and I started playing in January, so, you know, all the achievements, all the chests, all the quests, I had a ton of resources available. I would not have pulled for Constellation 2 and the following 5-star, who was Qiqi, if I knew more about the game. I would have been happy to stop here because I got Constellation 1 almost immediately. I think in less than 40 or maybe 50 pulls I got Constellation 1, like Constellation 0 and 1 Ganyu. Then I got this one relatively soon, and then I lost the 50-50 to Qiqi, but I wish that I saved those resources. But that's not the world we live in. Let's move to Xiao. Xiao, everything is at 9. His weapon is not a Dragon Bane. He's supposed to be using Staff of Homa. He needs to share it with Huta. Let me see if the stats are correct. No, the stats are not correct. Let me see where the problem may be. This is actually okay for him. Are we sure of that one? Yeah, that one should be okay for him. Or is it? Wait, what do I have right now on him? Oh, I'm missing Shimenawa. That's why. I'm missing the right Shimenawa piece, which should be this one. Yep, 77 to 26. This is my regular Xiao. I'm very bad with Xiao. I also uploaded a video to show how bad I am with Xiao. And I feel bad, sorry about it, because he's a character that I like. Design, the lore, gameplay. I really like him, and I should need to spend a bit more time playing with him. No Constellation. I would like Constellation 1, but whatever. There are too many characters and constellations that I would like to get. Venti. Venti sucks. I really dislike playing with Venti. I usually give him these sloppy seconds from other characters, like depending on who I am playing and who I'm not playing. He usually has either 4 pieces of Viridescent Venerer or 2 Viridescent Venerer, 2 Gladiator, or Chu Viridescent, Chu Shimenawa, again, depending on what is available. Weapon, usually, not this one, usually this one, unless someone else is using it. Otherwise, I give him Stringless. No Constellation. Talents 168. I'm not a very heavily invested Venti, but I don't find him particularly useful apart from when it's time to kill Hilichurls. So more often than not, I would rather play Kazuha or Sucrose. So bye Venti. Eula. Eula, she doesn't use the white blind. She either uses Serpent Spine or Skyward Pride. And her build, if I have a correct one on her, yeah, this should be the correct one, is like this. So if you add the stats of a Serpent Spine, this looks very good. But the problem with Serpent Spine is that she needs to spend a lot of time on the field, so it's even with a shield, it can be difficult to actually have all the stacks active at the same time. Plus, she definitely enjoys energy recharge. Plus, she definitely gets some great benefit from the vacuum blades, because the vacuum blades with Eula hit like a truck. Artifacts, Chu Bloodstain, Chu Pale Flame. I didn't go for 4 Pale Flame because I got 2 good pieces for her and a full set for Zhongli almost immediately. So I just stopped farming that domain. Like, this is very good for her with crit damage and a lot of energy recharge. This, again, reasonable for her. Not very good, but you know, crit rates and crit damage, we are fine. This is the physical damage goblet that I use on her. It's very good. This is actually physical damage goblet that I use even on Qiqi when I use her for physical damage dealing. Talents a bit low, 868. I'm not in love with you. I mean, I really like her design and I like playing her. The problem... Like this. Okay, this is better. The problem is just I get so upset by her burst missing all the time because monsters get iframes, they dodge, they run away, they jump around. It just bothers me a lot. So there are currently other characters that I want to invest my resources in. Eventually, I would probably like to level up to 9 or 10, 9 or 10, but not a high priority right now. Qiqi, her kit has changed a lot recently. Really a lot. I used to play her as a physical damage dealer more often than not, but the new set is so good on her. Basically popping bubbles that deal 30k damage consistently, that I'm currently using her like this. Weapon, usually Sacrificial Sword. She currently has this one because I'm leveling up a second one. Of course, I would prefer to use the Refinement 5 level 90 on her, but if Xingqiu is using it, then she will get this one. When I want to have fun and use her as a physical damage dealer, I will give her Aquila Favonia and give her the artifacts that are currently on Eula. You can go back a little bit to see what they look like. But if I want to use her as a healer to abuse the Husk set, this is very good for her. And these are the pieces that I'm using. Nothing exceptional, but I didn't want to farm that domain too long. Of course, there is the option of doing a bit of switcheroonie, give her this insane attack goblet, which will be on set for her, and look for a better healing bonus set, because this one is very bad, and I have a few that are actually worthy of being leveled up. Hold on a moment. Like this one not so much, this one not so much. Here, we're looking better, we're looking much better, we're looking very interesting, we're looking very good. But again, I don't want to invest too many resources in healing bonuses, and then I need to worry about sharing the same goblet on 2 characters. Like, no, we're not doing it. Luckily, I lost the 50-50 a few times on her. This is very good for me because it increases her damage on opponents affected by cryo, so when I want to use a solo Qiqi to hit stuff, this one is very helpful. Hopefully I will get more constellations. I like playing with Qiqi. Talent 898, I would like 999. I don't know if I will be crowning Qiqi. I don't know. We shall see. Childe. Unfortunately, I don't have very good stuff for him. Like, this is the best bow that I can give him. Artifact is usually either 2 pieces, Heart of the Death, 2 pieces, Shimenawa, or 4 pieces, Emblem of Severed Fate, but I never play him like an on-field damage dealer for too long, and I don't have 4 good pieces of the Heart of Death. So, more often than not... no, wait, not Emblem of Severed Fate. More often than not, I will give him, you know, some of these pieces, something like that, or the one that is on Xiao, this one, like this. Okay, now he has 4 pieces. Goblet. This is not the official Hydro Goblet for Xiao, for Childe. What am I saying? This one is alright. This one is alright. I mean, this, honestly, this is more than alright. This one is amazing. This one is okay. So really, it depends on who is using what. Who is using what. Constellation, nope. Talent 698. Should probably level this one to 9, but whatever. Sucrose, very, very, very low investment for me, which is fine for Sucrose. She doesn't need a high investment. If you go back to see the artifacts that I have on Kazuha, it's what I give to Sucrose most of the time, because when I play her, she uses full elemental mastery. Stats, whatever, because at the moment she does not have artifacts. Something to be said about the weapon. It can either be Thrilling Tales, or these, no, or these, Sacrificial Fragments. It's one of the two. Sara, not a huge fan of Sara. Her playstyle is a bit clunky, but when I play her in team with Raiden, she's extremely valuable. Provides a ton of damage and she looks great. Artifact for Noblesse with whatever I have. Like, really, it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. I don't have many good Noblesse pieces, but it doesn't matter. Again. And Constellation 6. And talents are like this, 1, 6, 6. Eventually I will have to level up these two so that she can provide a bit of extra damage, but priority-wise, very, very low, even if I have the resources. Beidou, I don't play her a lot. No, I never give Tuna to Beidou. Either Serpent Spine or Skyward Pride, it's one of the two. And Artifact, it will always be for... No, not true Blizzard Strayer. It just happened by swapping things around. It will always be 4 pieces, Emblem of Sara Fate, usually with this goblet, because she clearly benefits from attack and energy recharge. So she usually gets that one and 2 other pieces of Emblem of Severed Fate. Worth noting, energy recharge for her comes at a loss, so she should always have attack here. Always, always, always. Then the rest, you give her whatever, it doesn't matter. Constellation 6. Talents are like this. At least this one I should bring it to 9, but we will wait. Xingqiu. Xingqiu, no, we don't play. I played him with this once or twice. The amount of damage he does is insane, but in some teams he can have energy recharge issues. So I prefer to play him like this. And Artifact, always 4 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate. The single pieces, I will pick them every now and then based on what he wants to achieve. Like, for example, this is a good ratio, good energy recharge, we're all happy. Constellation 6. Talents are like this. I should level up these a little bit more, but not super important. Xianglin, I don't play her that much. I don't find her a very enjoyable character to play. Not very high investment. The catch. 4 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate with same disclaimer. Depending on what she's doing, I will give her the combination I prefer. Constellation 6. And these are the talents. Jean is on my list of character to level past 80. I like her a lot, and she's extremely valuable both in the Abyss and in the open world. Her weapon usually either the Skyward Blade or the Aquila Favonia or anything really. I want to level up this one for her, because a lot of her stuff scales off attack, and this one also helps her a lot with energy regeneration, and it looks great on her. Really, really great in terms of design. So artifacts, it will usually be 2 pieces Viridescent Venerer from other characters that are not using them. I would say, what is attack? Like this piece, or energy recharge, or this attack percentage piece, and another piece, just to have the double set bonus, and 2 pieces Shimenawa. I don't usually play her in teams who want the Viridescent Venerer set. She's not the best Anemo applier, so usually she does other things. Constellation 2. Her Constellation 2 is very, very, very good. Talents are like this, 6, 6, 7, but again, I want to invest a bit more in her. I don't play main character. Rosaria, another one who is on my list of characters to increase a bit. Usually Favonial Lance or Skyward Spine or Deathmatch, depending on the team she's in. Artifacts, basically always 4 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate, more energy recharge and damage on her burst. Constellation 6. Talents are like this. Eventually she will go at, I would say, at least 6 here, and 9. It will take a while, because I'm not suspended her yet. Diona. Diona, always a sacrificial bow. Always. Artifacts, always 4 pieces noblesse. She doesn't usually have this piece. Usually she has this one with hit points and energy recharge, because her shield and healing scales of hit points, but if I'm not using it on her, it's on Bennett. If I'm using on Bennett, she can use this one. This is the piece she's using is fine as well. It's not super important, honestly. Constellation 6. Talents are like this. Eventually we'll probably level up her shield to 9. Official, I don't play her very much because I'm waiting for Constellation 6. I'm basically guaranteed to get her Constellation 6 in January, because she should be in the store, and once that happens I will have to level her up a bit. Currently have a Refinement 5 Ali Hunter with whatever artifacts I can master. Her build is not great. It's not really great, but it's not awful either. And offset, she's absolutely fine. Constellation 5, first Batman. Talents are like this, but once I get Constellation 6, her talents will go up. Toma... I tried to make it work, but his playstyle does not fit my teams too well, or I have better options. So it feels a bit bad, man. Basically, the idea is that in order to equip him properly, I will have to give him one of these. Like, I need to level up a piece of tenacity of a millilith, so he can have an extra bit of hit points, and then, you see, together with this one, and then 2 pieces... no, well, whatever. 2 pieces... what the hell is it called, this thing? 2 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate, which this one is perfect for him, with a lot of hit points and energy recharge. But I find him a bit clunky to play. And weapon, usually I will give him this or this. Constellation, I only have 1. Talents are like this. He's a good character, and his animations are great. I just don't play him very often. Yanfei, I've recently built her, and I really, really like her playstyle. Probably one of the few Catalyst users I like to play. Weapon, not this one. If no one is using it, one of these 2. Or this one, or Prototype Ember. I played her with Prototype Ember a couple of times, and she works quite well as a support healer/shielder. A bit like when I play Mona in the healer slot. She's a very, very good character, able to deal a ton of damage. What I usually give her is either 4 pieces Crimson Witch, or 4 pieces Wanderer, like this. I only have 1 set of Wanderer Troop leveled up. Should be this one, I believe, or maybe the other one, but whatever. HP, Pyro, whatever, anyone. And so crit rate is low. With this build I would have to give her Lost Prayers, maybe swap a few artifacts around, but this is basically my Yanfei. Constellation 6. Talents are like this. All at 6. Definitely worth to level up to 9. I would say stay at 6 and 9. 9, 6, 9 looks about right. I have not built her at all. Him. Nope. She's a very beautiful character. Maybe eventually I will build Yoimiya. I also have a Rust for her, a high refinement of Rust, which is amazing on her, both in the looks and in the performance. So eventually, don't know if I will be playing Chongyun anytime soon. Kaya, yes, I like Kaya. I want to play him with Sayu. No, don't like him. Lisa, I like her. I will need to think about how to build her. I don't like Xinyan. I like Ember. She's on the list of things to do. So these are all my builds. That was a fairly long video. I will try to put timestamps for each character so it's a bit easier to navigate. And this is my build video for the 6th of December 2021. I wish you good luck with grinding and I'll see you next time. Bye guys, take care.